Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is technical analysis of the stock market today. Today is Wednesday, July 30th, 2014. We're going to take a look at the indices that we typically do, 5 of them. We're going to look at 3 indicators. We're then going to look at the BRICS countries, and then look at 4 Chinese stocks and maybe a couple other trade ideas. Okay, the Dow is down 31.7 points today. A couple things to note about the chart. We've got the 10 going below the 21. First time since right here, May 20th. And the other time this year was right here on April 11th. We did get a little bit of a turn here late March, and then of course January. Now the interesting thing, and that's why I'm just kind of wondering about this. Again, we don't have an extreme reading on our short-term trading index, so I'm kind of leaning on that a little bit, thinking, okay, well, since we haven't gotten that set up, I'm kind of thinking that this is not going to break. But we are breaking a trend line in here, and we are getting several closes the 4th day below the 10. 2 closes in a row, kind of a confirming close, one lower than the other. This was lower than this one. A couple days in a row of confirming closes, actually. So I don't know. It's hard to tell. Got stopped out on CTRP tonight, right at the market close, based on an exit, predetermined exit that I had. The trade ended up being profitable. It did get stopped out of that one. We're holding puts on Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. We'll talk about these later, but we'll see. We'll see whether this comes back like this and like this and like this, or whether or not we start to roll over. I mean, we've been talking about the negative divergence that's going on several of these for weeks now, weeks, if not months, but definitely weeks, last 2 months or last month or so. All right, let's move on to the S&P 500. Here we go. All right, so similar type thing, although not as dramatic as the Dow, and you can see it's right still at this trend line. It's not breaking it nearly to the degree the Dow is, and on the S&P, the 10 is right at the 21. Yeah, almost exactly. When I look at the numbers, almost exactly. The New York Composite. Okay, New York Composite again continuing to go sideways. Kind of looks like it's putting in a little bit of a top, but the symmetry isn't quite there. As best I can just say is sideways. Let me blow it up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we look at how the 10 came down below, came back up, down below. So now if we get a close down below this line, below this low here, and then we could get something moving and something going. But right now, hasn't done it yet. And I want to take a look at, all right, there we go. I'd like to go to the Nasdaq first. And the Nasdaq was up today 20 points. So the opposite, okay? Go in the opposite direction. Let me look at something here as compared to the I don't know why that didn't pull me back in here, but anyway. So this continues to just chop back and forth in this sideways consolidation. And again, we still don't have the 10. It's not breaking down. We're not even trading below the 10 in here like the Dow is. So again, we're starting to get this divergence between these technical. It seems to be the ongoing saga. It's been doing it now for quite a long time. One's up, the other one's down, then one's and then they just reverse. Russell 2000. Well, it was up a little bit, up almost 5 points today. But again, this is the definitely the weakest of the indices, I think, in terms of the way it's acting. It's kind of down here, bouncing off this 233-day moving average. We get the short-term trend down with the 10 below the 21. But to get almost this double top type look, you need to take out this bottom down in here. Okay, the double top's not in until you take out that middle piece down there. And that's why I've got this trend line. And then actually, you know, I thought it was going to be turning into a possible head and shoulders, but then this pulled up as high as where the head was. So, you know, that scenario was off. Okay, let's take a look at the short-term trading index. And it's doing nothing. It's just going sideways. We're right at 1.02 on the 10-day exponential of the short-term trading index. And the VIX actually is pushing a little bit higher. You know, the market was down, so the VIX is pushing up a little bit, but you know, it's kind of trending in this way, trending this direction. And the high-low is not really showing us a whole lot either, but it's hanging down in here. Actually went a little bit lower, I think, in the terms of the net between the high and the low. But it's and it's probably, what is that, 36? So that took out this low by a tick. No, it didn't actually. It's almost the same. Well, it's right in there, not showing us a whole lot. All right, let's take a look at the BRIC countries. Brazil over the last week has basically gone sideways after this nice move up in here. So a little bit of pause, not really seeing any divergence there. Russia, MySex Composite. Russia has continued this downtrend. So we were last Wednesday, we were right about here. 23rd actually, right in here. And so we've had this move, a little bit of a kind of a bounce rally today. Don't know that that means anything. Let's see. Yeah, getting a little bit of divergence showing up. So it's, you know, maybe getting a little bit of bounce in the Russian. Of course, the European community has come in with a lot of the sanctions now too. So India continues to push. Last couple days been down, but let's see if we go back to the 23rd. 22nd, 23rd. Actually, we've just gone sideways. It looks good though. I mean, it's staying above the 10, but it's just gone sideways over the last week. And the Shanghai Composite is on fire. Where is this thing? I always think I'm going to have my pointer right on there. Yeah, we talked about this Monday, and this thing is finally just broken out of this congestion right in here. And, you know, based on this type of action, and we could get a pullback. I mean, nothing goes straight up forever. Nothing goes up in a straight line. So could get a little bit of a pullback, but right now I've got this dotted line as a target coming out of this congestion. You know what I ought to do? I really ought to make this a different color. I don't know what color to make it. I'm going to make it green, I guess. Of course, the question is, which one is these lines? I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. And I pressed the wrong one. Okay. So now we got this green triangle, and it's blowing out of this green triangle. This one's a little bit longer term triangle. Okay, so that's the action on China, and that's why I think we've gotten a pop in several of these stocks. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at BIDU. Now, BIDU's not one that I'm typically trading options on. The average true range on BIDU is 6.19. So, you know, it's a pretty good range. Great if you're day trading, but you know, the risk and everything in terms of where you got to put a stop and all that kind of good stuff with options is pretty high. All right, so let me zoom in on this. Let's see where I've got this. I'm not getting it. Oh, I know what I'm doing. It's a projection of where I think it's going to go. Yeah, I think it's got it. I think it's definitely going higher, but let me step back. Let me step back and then blow us up a little bit. I do think we're in a fifth primary wave. I think we've got four. That's not good. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so here's the deal on BIDU, and I'm going to go into more detail on this as I'm going to produce a focused stock analysis, technical analysis of BIDU, and it'll go into all this detail. But the bottom line is I think we're in this fifth primary wave up. And if we're in the fifth primary wave up, I think we're into the fifth wave of that fifth wave. So when you get a line from the bottom of the intermediate 2 and intermediate 4, project from 3, you're talking about up in here as a possibility. But then what you've really got to do is focus in on the wave count in the fifth wave also, and try to look to see in here, does it make sense and where is it going? And I'm going to have to reevaluate that. I'll have it for a video. I mean, this set a pretty good gap up in here. I don't see any specific play. There's always a risk that this could turn into an island reversal. And if this gapped back down, that's exactly what you get. Like if it opened down here for whatever reason at 215, 210, and then started selling off, you might have an island reversal here, and this could be the top. I mean, I don't know. Well, we just have to look and see, and have to get back to looking at the projection. I'm thinking this is wave 1, and this is wave 2, this is 3, and this is 4. And that's why it looked like 3 had extended some. And so therefore, once you have a wave like 3 that's extended, you then measure it to the top of 3, pull back to the bottom of 4, and I'm expecting it to, it's already exceeded what I was at a minimum here. So I was thinking that since it's past 38 and 61.8, that 100%, so this would be wave 5 right here, equals 1 through 3 already. So I think there's a very real possibility this could be the top right here at 230, whatever that high is. Let's see if I get that. 229.60, so almost 230. And we'll see whether or not we get, you know, depending on the action coming out of this right now. So that's my best assessment. I'll have to look at that a little bit closer. The next one is Melco Crown. Where is it? Melco Crown. Melco, well, I tell you, I definitely think that this is, again, we got 5 waves up in Melco. And so we're doing this corrective action in here. And what really happens is this looks like a 3-wave A down, which means that we're doing a flat, an A, B goes back to the beginning of A, and then you got C coming down here. And you had all of these overlapping waves in here, which became very confusing. So that's why I've got a question mark C. Is C gone here? Is it really gone far enough? I've got my doubts that it's gone far enough. We don't have 5 waves in this move, so that kind of makes me feel like this is still part of some kind of corrective action in here. And I'm not seeing, you know, strong bullish moves in here. So right now I'm just kind of continuing to watch Melco. I don't see anything that's jumping out at me that makes me say, okay, let's take a position. C-Trip, on the other hand, we've been in C-Trip. We got in back down in here. I think it was right around 62. Then we got this nice pop up in here, took some profit. And then now we got this reversal bar that happened down. This bar here went 1 tick higher than this one. So I looked at these 2 bars and said, if I get a close below these last 2 bars, we're out. And I got that close today, so we exit right at a close. We ended up having a profit on the entire position, both halves. Now this is really an outside down bar in here and a reversal bar. So this is pretty strong. And then getting this close below this reversal bar is fairly negative. So I know earnings came out afterwards, and I know C-Trip, I saw some aftermarket trading that was down around 61, 62. So it could be interesting. I don't know the details. I have to look at it this evening or tomorrow morning. But right now we're out of our position entirely, and it was a profitable trade. So that's all I could say about C-Trip. I really thought it was going to run more than this, and I'm disappointed that it hasn't. And it may give us another opportunity to get back in. I don't know. And the other one I want to look at here is YY. YY, this is all the trading on YY, and I think we've got a first primary wave up with 5 intermediate waves. And then I think we've had this second wave down, and you look at it and you think, well, wow, is that enough of a correction? It's actually corrected 50% based on points. Okay, based on the actual number of points, it's corrected 50%. So now here we are starting to trend up in the other direction. And when you zoom in on YY, you see that you know, we may have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like waves here, and we could have had an A, B, C wave 2. So this could be like 1, and this could be 2, and that we're off on 3. All the moving averages are aligned. You get the 233 day that's rising nicely. You got the 55 curving up. You got the 21 above the 55, and now you get the 10 back above the 21. So things are aligned. It looks pretty well. Let me see if I can. I hate when it does that. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Let's see if we can look at the RSI a little bit. I'm not really seeing any negative divergence here. It's jumping out on me. We've got DI plus above DI minus. We've got the ADX trending higher. And we've got the demand index positive. So right now, YY looks like it's wanting to continue trending higher. And that would be my guess. I don't have a specific entry to get in on this right now. So, all right, that's it on those. And we talked about CTRP, and we talked about, you know what? I want to open up, where is it? Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. This one, we've had 10 days in this trade, and I am going to tighten the stop on this. And I'm a little concerned that we're just going sideways. So I'm going to update the stop on this Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, and we're just going to have to see what happens on this thing. I don't know. I really thought it was going to break down. I don't see it breaking down right now. And it's been 10 days in the trade. And when I don't have a trade working after 10 days, you definitely tighten the stop, and I'm trying to get out of it. So that's my take on that one. And of course, we had the big one on X today on US Steel. Huge move, huge volume. You know, big volume here, although we had big volume back here on what was an up day too, kind of setting the stage as the buying has been coming in here. We'll see if we can continue to get some momentum. It's way outside the Kellner channels, but it's real strong. Huge gap as it broke this neckline of this big head and shoulders bottom. So looking to see if we can get this thing to run a little bit, and we'll kind of go from there. I think that's it for tonight. We'll be back on Saturday with another market update, and we'll talk about trade ideas, review this week, and talk about any new ones for the coming week. If you found that this video was helpful in any way, and the post, please share it. I would be very grateful if you would do that. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, join the tribe. It's easy to do. First name and email address, all you need. And you can download the PDF I've got for you and get access to the Trade Ideas webpage. And of course, updates of when we have new posts. All right, this has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Have a great Thursday, Friday, everyone. See you on the next video.